Happy Monday once again, everyone. Bryan Devore, Devore Realty Group, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, California Properties with another Monday market moment. Stephen Thomas came out with his most recent reports on housing. And to that point, we're going to talk about correct pricing. And the results are staggering when it comes to pricing your home the proper way. But first, let's look at the latest stats. Right now, we have 5,954 homes for sale. We're finally down below 6,000 for the first time in quite a while. It's a big drop of 97 from last week, with a median list price of $919,000. Average days on market 58. Pending sales 2355, 32 more than we had the week before. No change in the median list price of $865,000, and no change in the average days on market 38. Months of inventory, almost exactly 3 months. So we're right on the cusp between a balanced market and a seller's market. So just a little bit lower than it was last week. Here's a chart showing total actives, total pendings, and you can see we are finally below that 6,000 line. And this is typical this time of year. We'll see how low it goes. Pendings holding strong. Last week, we saw 667 homes come on the market, 79 fewer than the week before. Coupled with the week prior to that, it's about 160 fewer homes coming on the market each week over the last 2 weeks. Median list price, $895,000. New pendings, 363, up just a tick, up 3 versus last week, with the median list price, $879,000. Average days on market, 36. That's going up a little bit. New pendings listed within the last week, 21. Within the last 2 weeks, 113. So 6% of homes actually sold in a week or less. That's higher than it's been in quite a while. 31% are selling in 2 weeks or less. Last week, we saw 344 homes close escrow, 8 fewer than the week before. No change in the median list price, $899,000, but median sales price did go down to $887,500. Average days on market, 40. Least expensive sale was in Fallbrook, was a manufactured home for $139,000. Most expensive sale was in Coronado, $21,550,000. It was actually originally on the market for over $40 million, went to auction, finally settled down at $21,550, double lot in Coronado. Here is the chart showing new actives, new pendings, new closed sales. You can see over the last 3 weeks, the number of new listings coming on the market substantially dropping each week. Number of pending sales, however, is up or holding strong. It's a good sign for sellers. Number of closed sales a little bit down. And here's the chart showing median list price, median sales price, holding kind of firm. Okay, Stephen Thomas did, as I said, come out with reports on housing. Here is the active inventory right now, the red line continuing to go down week after week. You can see where we are in the total number of homes for sale relative to the beginning of the year. We're still way above where we were at the beginning of the year, still well above where we've been the last few years, still below where we were before COVID. So even though inventory is climbing quite a bit, we still have a lot fewer homes for sale than we did before COVID hit. Here is the demand, which is the number of homes that go into escrow over the last 30 days. Kind of year over year, we're right about where we were last year, which is about where we were a couple of years before that, above where we were in 2023 because rates are lower, still well below the demand that we were at before COVID. In this week's reports on housing, Stephen took a deeper dive into price reductions and how that affects what happens with final sales prices. It talks about really correct pricing right from the get-go. So in the month of September, he looked at 3 different sort of categories. If a home had no price reduction, if it had a reduction of 1 to 4%, and if it had a reduction of 5% or more. So 65% of homes had no reduction. Okay, so 2/3 of the homes didn't have to reduce their price. The sales to the last list price ratio, 98.8%. The last list price is the same as the original list price because there was no price change. So that's why the sales to original list price is also 98.8%. Days on market, 14. So if you didn't have to reduce your price, you sold it quickly for almost your list price. But what happens if you had to reduce your price anywhere from 1 to 4%? Well, 17% of sales were in that category. And Sales to last list price ratio was 97.4%, which is not bad. But if you compare it to, if you compare the sales price to the original list price ratio, it's 94.7%. So people had to drop their price and then had to take a bigger price reduction when they sold it. And it took 47 days to sell. So if you have to reduce your price, look how much difference there is between the 14 days and the 47 days. Quite a huge difference. Three times, more than three times the number of days it takes. What if you have to reduce your price by 5% or more? 18% of sales were in that category. Sales to last list price ratio, 96.8%. So that in itself is a big drop off of list price. But what about the original list price before they reduced it 5% or more? 86.9%. So people are taking a huge hit when they price it too high and they have to come down over 5%. They're only getting about 87% of what they originally listed the house for. Overpricing it, you're going to give yourself a huge reduction in what you're going to wind up getting. And look how long it takes to sell, 72 days. We've talked about it many times before. Correct pricing is key. If you price your home right, you're going to get it sold within 2 weeks for almost your list price. Now, how do you price your home properly? Well, you got to look at what has sold recently, but also what's on the market right now and what is in escrow. That's the key. What is in escrow is going to tell you what the current market is and what it takes to sell a home in today's market. That's it for this week's Monday Market Moment. Look forward to seeing you next week after Halloween. Hope you have a good Halloween. We'll be into November, and it's crazy how fast time is going. Pretty soon we'll be in November, but we hope you have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you in the next Monday Market Moment.